What Stinson Beach used to look like, decades to over a century ago. First of all, the town had a different name. It was called Willow Camp. Here's what the beach view used to look like in 1913. What I see today, over 100 years later, that is the development by the coastline. The construction of Seadrift. Seadrift is a private vacation home community at the north end of town, but more on that later. This is back when there used to be snack shacks on the beach, but now there's only one that's actually on the beach, and public restrooms. That's it. Here's a vintage view of the main shoreline highway through town. A lot sure has changed since this was taken. Here's an old photo of the Stinson Beach Market, but it looks pretty similar today, in appearance. Here are some more old photos of Stinson Beach, including a shot of the market before the park was established, and Mount Tamalpais. Here's an old view of the Bolinas Lagoon, and a photo from high up Mount Tam showing the natural landscape before many houses were built. Pretty classic photo from way back in 1916 of 5 surfers chilling on the beach. Back in the day, there used to be a flying egg gas station at Stinson Beach, but it's since been turned into a park. Here's some present-day history. Almost 2 years ago, in June of 2020, a building downtown burnt down due to an oven fire. The main building burnt down next door, but the one beside that was affected as well. So they rebuilt the one on the left completely, and then are working on construction on the other one right now. It looks fantastic 2 years later. And now, here's what Stinson Beach looks like today. Let's start with one of my favorite pictures, a paddle on the Seadrift Lagoon, and a nice sunset and ocean view from a panoramic highway. Here's the famous fish fence located along Shoreline Highway, and a fancy-looking house with a nice car in Seadrift. Is this a mirror or just beautiful nature? Typical $120,000 car in Seadrift. Here's one of my favorite views ever from a hiking trail off the mountain where you can see the ocean, the Seadrift Lagoon, and the Bolinas Lagoon. Beautiful. And now let's take a look at how you'd get to Stinson Beach. Starting from San Francisco, head over the Golden Gate Bridge to the north, take this freeway exit on the highway to Muir Woods towards Stinson Beach, and get on Highway 1, which takes you around the ocean and on the side with the mountain on one side and the ocean on one side, going to Stinson. Or go up through Mill Valley, take the Panoramic Way, says Mount Tamalpais, Stinson Beach, Muir Woods, and go through Panoramic Highway, which winds you through the redwood trees with the mountain on one side, cliff on the other, and then it comes out eventually by the state park and the ocean view. Both are great ways to get there, and beautiful drives. To leave town, you take either Highway 1 or Panoramic Highway, where they often film movies and take you by the mountain and ocean, one going one way, one going the other, west and south, or Shoreline Highway to and from Bolinas. Here's me at the basketball court in town making a trick shot. And here's what a daily sunset typically looks like, with a bunch of nice color reflections on the sand, in the windows, and my cat is even out there watching it with me. My other cat, Teensy, who likes to come sometimes as well. And here's both my cats on the beach, which is something you don't see very often. And now let's talk about Seadrift. Seadrift is like a private community on the north end of town with like around 300 houses that are mostly vacation homes and not inhabited by many people, but there are a few full-time residents, including myself when I lived there for almost 3 years. Pretty great place. You have a lagoon in your backyard if you have a lagoon house, or ocean views. This is the view from the house I lived in. You can see creatures such as crabs, night herons and herons on the docks. I even keep my own little lagoon journal with drawings of the leopard sharks and bat rays I see, which you'll see coming up soon. You can go paddling on the lagoon, which is very fun. You can get some nice views. Here's some real live leopard sharks on the water, as well as a bat ray. And then you also get a nice view of the Bolinas Lagoon. Here's another shot of the ocean with a nice sunset coming in at the beach, and a little panorama showing Highway 1, where you can see the ocean and the mountain on both sides of the road. Pretty epic. Amazing sand formations on the beach in Seadrift, and a shot of my lagoon journals that I keep. Here's my cat Tammy by my backyard lagoon behind the house, and my cat Teensy in our sandy front yard. You can see this massive tree trunk on a walk around the spit, as well as some crazy sand formations on a nice day. A great shot, aerial shot of the Seadrift Lagoon from up high, and a sunset coming over the beach. Here you can see a bunch of photos I've taken of the beautiful wildlife and nature around town with some sunsets, cloud shots, and shots by the beach and the lagoon. Personally, what I'd like to see in the future for my town of Stinson Beach, California, is for housing to become more available and accessible for average day people, as it's very expensive. It's a great place to live, and it would be nice if, as an average person, there could be some affordable housing and some environmental changes as well. So for now, thanks for watching.